You know what time it is. You know what we about to talk about. You know it's list time. Right now we're about to get all the BS that came out in 2022 out front and center on display for the whole world to see. We're going to talk about how inconsiderate these artists were, knowing how much we've been through over the last 3 years. Decided to say, no, I need to put these people through even more than they already been through with my trash music. We're about to look at what I feel are some of the worst expressions of humanity that came out in the year 2022. The first one is NBA YoungBoy with 3800 Degrees. The funny thing about being a YoungBoy fan is that the chances of you getting a good album are just as high as you getting a bad one. You can chalk that up to quantity over quality thing that he's had going on for the last few years. Now, I can't deny it probably pays his bills, and his fan base is so hardcore and strong that whatever he puts out, good or bad, is going to do numbers. But the music that's within this album made me feel like I was in a torture chamber at 3800 degrees. Felt like I was getting cooked by horrible flows, terrible bars. The raps are not matching the beat whatsoever. It's going on these rants and tangents during the songs. I'm like, bro, who are you talking to? What do you need to get off your chest? Basically, look at this album as the musical equivalent of someone talking through a movie that you're really trying to see. Coming at the cover art alone, you look at this and be like, this has all the makings of a classic. The worse the album cover, the better the music is. That's how it's always been. But this album is just trash. MGK with Mainstream Sellout. I don't know exactly what Machine Gun Kelly will be selling out to. I'm really tired of these artists coming over to other genres of music when their career in hip hop doesn't go where they want it to. So they hide their trash under the guise of another genre to trick people into believing that other people who listen to that style won't call them out for being garbage too. What I've came to understand about artists like MGK is when you trash, you just trash. Nowhere you go is not gonna be trash. You can run, you can hide, but you can never beat the allegations. Taking these elements of pop and punk and trying to do this emo thing on the album. You are 32. Like, I don't believe you. It's over. When you're a kid making this type of music, it's cool. When you're grown, it's concerning because you got these life experiences and the wisdom by this point to know I should never allow myself to be put out in this context. The mixing on these records are ass. The quality of these records are ass. The singing is absolute garbage. It's like someone's taking a cheese grater to my ears on every record. There is something to be said about the title of this album though. It's an attempt at selling out and doing something completely different at an attempt at being relevant still. But I'm wondering what the next step for MGK is when the reception to his pop punk fusion is ultimately the same as the reception to his rap records. Is the next record going to be called Underground Sellout, where you make a bunch of folk music? Like, I don't know what his next move is. Tom McDonald with The Brave. I thought I would never talk about this man. I thought it was all a troll in the beginning. I'll be honest, I thought his anti-rap was essentially his attempt at trying to gain attention and trying to show that rappers that were popular were trash, which most people knew. Thought he was like a self-aware Joyner Lucas, where he knew that the things he was saying were cringe but didn't mind being made fun of it. But after listening to this album that I figured out he's dead ass. This isn't a joke. Given the ideas on this album, he might have a really good chance at starting a very popular conservative podcast. We've been getting the same album from DJ Khaled since 2017. Same group of artists being featured, same songs attempted over and over again, but with a new annoying catchphrase and an attempt at trying to make people believe that he has talent as an actual producer. I swear a computer program can put out a DJ Khaled album. If I had to ask anyone how disappointed they were on this DJ Khaled record, I would ask God. Having the all-knowing and all-seeing beside you still didn't give you the vision and foresight to know how people would respond to what should have just been a religious rejection. I don't think God was with you. I think it was Satan deceiving you into believing you were doing something great for the society when you really were torturing us. And the worst part about it is I know DJ Khaled thinks it's good with the features on this album. Either DJ Khaled has dirt on every person in the industry and they're doing these features for free, or he has the budget of the US military and can just throw cash around and waste it. Change the album to God Did It. Kid Rock with bad reputation. I never thought I would talk about Kid Rock in a video. This album is the definition of not aging gracefully. It's what happens when a midlife crisis becomes music. It's the political commentary from your 57-year-old coworker at your restaurant. It's your conspiracy theorist barber who's just good enough to call himself a barber, but not good enough to have the most customers during the day. This is bar fight music. It's all of those things, but worse because it's country. Game dropped Drillmatic, and I know Nas is pissed at his album name is attached to this in any way. Game is the definition of corny. The 10-minute diss rant towards Eminem was probably the most embarrassing thing I've seen from a rap artist in the last decade. While trying to downplay the success of an artist who probably doesn't even know that you were making the diss record about him is embarrassing. It makes you look like a nutcase. It's fan fiction and the game is the stand. Outside of that track alone, the content on this record just sounds like entertaining someone you know, knowing that the story that they're telling you is cap, but you're listening because that's your nigga. I'm holding him down when I know he's full of shit. 31 tracks for an album is insane. The rollout for this record being so obvious is what really made it pathetic. Knowing that none of the names that the game dropped on this album take him seriously enough as a threat in rap to even respond or entertain his nonsense is what makes it pathetic. He tried to go viral by talking about women that he wants to fuck on Killers despite being 40 plus. YG, I got issues. He's not lying. Every issue that I've got with YG is his rapping on I got issues. Super generic beats on this album, horrible rapping. I think Baby Mama is easily one of the worst tracks I've heard from 2022. Super uninspired rapping. Dude is on autopilot for the entire album. Last but certainly not least is The Baby. I don't even know what the name of that trash he dropped was. I just know that if this mask that he's donating is supposed to be the representation of the quality of music that's on the record too, he passed the test with flying colors. The response album to the controversy that he's been in the last year and a half. After making unnecessary bigoted comments on a live show, this isn't the album to drop after all that controversy. And after people have been calling your music garbage for a while now, this just doesn't help. Also, name dropping Megan Thee Stallion on your album to gain clicks is pathetic. The mixing on this album is terrible. The production on this album is terrible. You have one flow and there's a lack of versatility on this album. No songs have any bounce, rhythm, catchiness. The hooks are trash, bland, and generic. Terrible singing. In any avenue that you thought an artist could be trash on this record, The Baby was trash. He's a 0 overall for everything. 0 badges. Y'all hop in the comments and let me know what the worst albums you heard in the year 2022 are, so I know what to avoid if I already didn't hear it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.